Come on in, come on in, come on in, people. Come on in, come on in. A pleasant good evening, greetings and salutations to everybody out there in listening land. Tough Forum coming back at you one more time for the Wednesday gwaan, the midweek catch up. It's Drew. I'm here one more time, another week, giving God honor, giving him thanks for the strength that he's given me for life, for keeping me in my right mind as we see the stuff that's happening in the world seems like insanity. But here we are again for another episode of what's happening on the streets. Greetings, everybody. So just a little update as we were talking about some stabbings last time. Talked about even how one of those stabbings where two people lost their lives was due to the son who actually stabbed his parents to death. Disturbing, nonetheless, and violence continues. Here we are again, winding down on the last few days of September in 2022, and the beat goes on. People, I hope you're being safe out there, watching your surroundings, and realizing that, you know what, tomorrow is not promised and anything can happen. But, you know, we got to be vigilant. We got to stay the course of being persistent in the fight against violence, against all these acts of violence that are happening within our community, in our world, and just try to be, you know, someone that makes a difference. And each one can do that. So today, you know, scouring through the papers again, and, you know, over the weekend, nothing changed. Probably, you know, I can't even say less or more, but violence is still there. And I was scouring through the papers. I seen that on Friday. It was shocking to read this, but I mean, I guess violence doesn't have an age, does it? Violence doesn't have an age, doesn't have a gender. It just seems to, you know, prevail. I don't want to say prevail. It just seems to happen wherever someone allows the evil to just come and overtake them. So that being said, a 71-year-old Von man was charged with first-degree murder in a stabbing death of his wife. This man was also charged with arson because as the police responded to a fire in a house, they found a victim in the house not suffering, but who was pronounced dead because they succumbed to the stab wounds that was inflicted on them, allegedly by this man who was the woman's wife. So on top of stabbing his wife, he set the house on fire. Man, I can't make this stuff up. This is something that you probably see on TV, but like we said in some of our episodes before, that in a lot of ways, you know, TV mimics real life, and real life mimics sometimes TV. But here it is, someone 71 years old, lived a long time, and decided that they were going to, for whatever reason, stab their wife and then burn down the house. What a sad state that we're in, where matrimony, holy matrimony, is looked upon like this. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Where have we gone? Kids killing their parents, parents killing their kids, husbands or spouses killing each other. But here we have it again. What seems to be another femicide, another man committing a real heinous act on a woman, and no less, it's his wife. And then decides that he's going to burn down the house for whatever reason, evidence, or even to just add, I don't know what else you're going to add to that. I mean, the person's already dead. I don't know if you're trying to cover your tracks, whatever. It's just sad. And that happened in the Vaughan area, a place that, is somewhat, you know, considered probably suburban, but hey, it happens anywhere. So violence is not dependent on jurisdiction either. Violence happens anywhere. So that's neither here or there. Another person, a woman, this time 54-year-old woman. Now this happened some years back. I think it was in 2018. A woman was charged with trying to smuggle 25 firearms um, across the border, and I believe that she's done this by hiding. I won't say she, but because she denies even, or she pleads ignorance to knowing that they were even in a vehicle. But according to the police officers or the investigators, were saying that for her to even have these guns in her gas tank, it was a rental vehicle, but she would only be able to fill up the gas tank with a quarter tank of gas so that she can fit the other guns in there or whatever. I don't even know how this works. I'm just reporting what I read. So for her to travel on a quarter tank of gas, you know that you have to be monitoring this thing. Anyway, she did not really contest the charges, although she pleaded not guilty. And today's news, we found out that she has now been sentenced to 10 years in prison. The woman testified in her trial and said that she was very embarrassed, of course. I mean, you're a 54-year-old single mother. I mean, this is not the example you want to be setting for your kids. And now it's a domino effect. It's just a chain of events that play out here now, because she says that she's embarrassed for, putting her parents through this, her children through this, her family. So here's a family that probably had no idea that this was happening under the nose, that their daughter probably went away and thinking, no, they just need a little time away and watch the kids. I don't know what it is, how old these kids are, but nonetheless, now this is going to be 10 years without you present in their lives full time. Now, I mean, they have to come and see you incarcerated. They have to come see you through jail bars, and that's just a sad situation. And it's not really so often that I report on women um, who are in the area of violence, but this stands out only because we know a lot of the guns that have been seized are from overseas or from the states. We know a lot of them are illegal guns, and here we have someone who was actually, contributing to that area where we're trying to seize the guns from, just coming into the country and getting on our streets, because it's just been ridiculous the amount of guns that have been seized, and yet we still see, a pipeline somewhere that's just coming through nearby borders, and they're falling into the hands of young men, or just men, or people in general, who are out to commit crimes and violent acts. And this is not this is a sad situation. It's on one side of the token, you got this element off the street and her accomplices, because I believe two men were also charged in this and arrested and now facing time as well. But on the other side of the token, you have a family that's going to be disrupted, and you don't even know what repercussions this is going to be upon the children, upon the parents. And 10 years is not terribly long, um, considering some people who are doing other serious time in prison. So 10 years, she'll be back on the streets. She will be back on the streets if she, God spares her life. She will be back on the streets again, and we hope this is enough of a deterrent that she will not go down this road again. But we have here age again 54 and 71. You have a woman, you have a man. And, though in the woman's case, no one died, but these are some of the same tools that people are looking for to commit these acts where people are dying. And here you have someone who's a 71-year-old man who should know better, should be looking about. He's past the age of retirement. And even as I say that, there's people right now, I mean, times are hard. People are working even in their 70s. But, you could have been doing something like something else than now having to go spend the remainder of your life in prison. So sad, so sad, so sad. So here we are, coming up to the ending of this week, September. We're going into the month of October, and it's going to be our Thanksgiving over here in Canada. And we just want to, at least thank God for that, we have something to be thankful for, that we're still on top of the ground, still on top of the earth, and we're not 6 feet beneath. And I'm telling the people, especially the young men out there, the young people out there who are gravitating to these kind of violence, that is only a couple places you're going to be. It's the jailhouse or the graveyard. So, got to smarten up. You got to think. And it shows you it's not only young people too, it's people in their senior age. And that's shocking, but violence is violence, evil is evil. Let's recognize what evil is. Let's recognize what hate is and what hate can do, what hate can contribute to in a moment of rage, in a moment where you're not thinking straight, and before you know it, your life is changed in the snap of a finger. It's just a sad day just to report this, but I want you to be aware and keep this in your mind that it can happen to anybody. Um, and I just pray that that God will keep us, and keep us who have the mind to, stay off this track. Who, I mean, we have our problems too. We can snap at any time, but I trust and believe, the God I serve, and the mindset I have. I'm not going down this route to take out my children, my wife, or anybody for that matter. Even with all the hatred that I've had at one point, I can say now, 100%, I don't have that hatred to look on someone for whatever reason and want to commit bodily harm to them. You can be a racist, you can be whatever. I understand if I have to defend myself, it's one thing, but racist people will get me angry to the point where I may say something, but never, I think I would be at that point where I want to kill them or take a life. So, and that's the hardest part I can think. I mean, even if someone did something to my family, God forbid. But folks, we gotta take a breather. We gotta swallow our saliva. You know, take that time to gulp. You know, the song says, "Drink water and mind my business." Yeah, sometimes we need to just stop and drink that water, and while we're drinking that glass or whatever we're thinking, so that we can have a chance to escape that negative outcome. It's not what happens in life, folks. It's how you respond. And that's the motto I live by. I try to tell my children to live by. So I'm telling you, it's not what happens to you. Times are rough, things are going to happen. But young people, if you get a hold of this video, if you're saying, why am I making these videos, and all these videos you're reading, you're talking, or listening to, you're saying this guy's saying the same things over and over. I want you to think it's not what happens to you, it's how you respond. I want you to start responding the right way, the right and proper way. I want you to start responding with positivity. I want you to meet those adversities that come your way with something other than violence. Take out your anger on a punching bag, not using somebody as a punching bag. I want you to take all your anger and exercise, run, walk, ride a bike, but get that time to just reflect and think, how can I get myself out of this situation, this predicament? What are some of the steps I can do to just little by little chip off that mountain till it becomes a little stone, and then eventually a little pebble that I can move it, right? Please, 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 I'm pleading to anyone that is hearing this that might be thinking this is corny or might thinking this is nonsense, but I'm gonna keep on just stressing it, because I see a need. I'm tired of the violence, and I see it every day, and I'm like, this has to stop. There's got to be a better way. So each one teach one, each one reach one. Let's try it, and let's try to just live good, man. Let's, we all bleed the same color blood regardless of what color we are. So I don't want to kill you with cliches, but what I'm saying here tonight, it's the real deal, it's the real talk, and that's coming from my heart. So just come on, man. Let's do better, let's do better, let's live better. All right. That's it for me tonight on the Wednesday Wagwan, the midweek catch up. Until next time we hook up again, keep riding with me, and just look out for those upcoming posts and those events that I might be doing. And we'll see where we go from here. But thanks for all the support. Until next time, have a good night. Want good. Look around. Be sober. Be vigilant. Peace.